na kilikali Women's Club kedoba karonga na Radio FBC1 tole biti na boka ndiya
neza ngo emuri na tambu ena kasi ondo woronga na Radio FBC1 tole biti ngari biana
neza ngo merelotu yo me botike sawa no bukoro me ule kutoka imalo wawati sawa tahun ini kuwa dale takvale unara programa na Radio FBC1.
Na Radio FBC1 nandumoi biti na bonga ni BNN.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Coming up, Fiji Police Force works on weeding out misconduct and brutality. Parliament continues debate over 2016 budget, and sexual abuse a big concern. The Fiji Police Force needs more capacity building and empowerment programs to ensure that misconduct and brutality are weeded out of the system. Acting Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sitiveni Ngilio says this is the platform of a new level of service delivery to the people of Fiji. Madhyam Bolaitamana has more on the story.
Making his first official visit to the Western Division, Brigadier General Ngilio made no qualms on the path the force needs to take to rejuvenate service delivery.
Welfare, they are accommodated well, they have the necessary equipment to conduct their duties. All these things will fall into place. It will rub off into their conduct and all that. Definitely we won't condone misconduct. We will look into those areas. So yes, holistically we are looking at that. It's just not something that can be addressed in isolation. It's a whole holistic approach.
Ngilio says help has also been sought to curb the growing instances of police brutality in the past.
I have spoken to a UN representative in regards to that. I will be meeting her later. And also ICRC. Those training will continue. Definitely, most definitely.
Meanwhile, the acting police commissioner today visited the family of the 7-year-old rape victim in Lautoka and has assured them that his men will continue to work hard in bringing the perpetrator to justice.
We've interviewed a few suspects where we don't want to divulge any other more information which could jeopardize the conduct of the investigation. We'd rather keep it at where we are while the experts in that field continue. And we are pleading for information.
Brigadier General Ngilio met with leaders in the business community in Lautoka late this afternoon to discuss ways to improve service delivery in the Sugar City. Madhyam Bolaitamana, FBC News.
We now cross live to our West studio with Madhyam Bolaitamana. Madhu, I understand that the Acting Commissioner will be in the West for another day before heading back. Are you able to tell us more about his official visit?
Yes, Jackie, you are right. Brigadier General Ngilio arrived in Lautoka at 9 a.m. today and was briefed by the Divisional Police Commander West, ACP Marika Yalimewai, and his senior officers. Speaking to the media, Ngilio said that the crime rate in the division has dropped these past 6 months, and this has mainly been attributed to the swift response of police and the strong relationships forged with members of the public. All in all, he says that whilst there is room for improvement, the key for him is providing the force with the tools of the trade so they can adequately carry out their roles. Ngilio is expected to return to Suva tomorrow after visiting a few other police stations in the division. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Matthew. The United Nations owes the Royal Fiji Military Forces a total of $26 million. This was revealed in Parliament today during the ongoing debate on the allocations of the 2016 national budget. Ellen Stolz reports.
Opposition member Tupo Undranindalo says the government should not be spending millions on peacekeeping.
For this 79 million that the Fiji government is paying, subsidizing the UN, how much will the UN remit to Fiji?
In response, Minister for Finance Ayaz Said Qayyum says over the last 5 years, Fiji has received in excess of $50 million from the United Nations. However, Fiji is still owed millions.
We are owed somewhere in the vicinity of about $26 million that's outstanding to us. As to when exactly we'll get it, we are not sure at this stage, and that's a matter that's worked out between Prune, which is a permanent rep to the UN, and of course our Foreign Affairs and the RFMF over here.
Opposition MP William Avoka also rose to contribute to the debate.
But the time has come, for this time, that we communicated very strongly to the UN that we will help. But the people of Fiji today would like the UN to be forthcoming with payment, even if they prepay. We all run a business.
A number of opposition members, including Isor Tikova, moved motions which were put to the vote and later defeated. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
21 headings out of 52 headings had been passed in Parliament by the time they broke up around midnight last night in the fight to ensure estimations are fairly allocated. While Parliament defeated many of the motions put forward by the opposition, the session surely did not leave anyone wandering around.
After 15 hours of crucially debating the country's 2016 national budget, none of the Member of Parliament gave leeway to the opposing side till 12:30 a.m. this morning. Issues that were discussed range from allocations to the higher education institutions, agriculture, fisheries and forests, lands and mineral resources, and many more. The Education Minister confirmed he has spoken with a likely partner from India that has shown interest in forming a consortium or partnership with a local provider to establish an FNU medical college in Lautoka. Dr. Reddy admitted trying to attract credible and reputable tertiary hospital providers into the country was their biggest challenge last year.
It's not easy, Madam Chair, with respect to expertise as well as capital outlay for constructing and operating successfully a tertiary hospital of the kind that we would want to. It's a very expensive business, and that's why we were not able to attract. But now with the incentive, we are now got very strong interest.
Opposition MP Biman Prasad's motion to double next year's sugar development allocation to $10 million to benefit the farmers was defeated by government's overall votes. The acting Prime Minister says next year's allocation of $5 million is sufficient.
Of course, we all agree. Our farmers need to be given assistance. We need to look at the capacity of it, so $5 million will continue. Of course, as time changes, and the Honourable Tigoda has identified a very important point about irrigation. That, of course, is concerned not just for sugarcane farming, but all agricultural outputs.
He revealed that of the $5 million allocated for the sugar sector this year, $3.9 million has been utilized to date, with the remainder expected to be used by the end of December. Once all 52 headings are passed, the Committee of Supply, that consists of the Speaker of the House and the Secretariat, will then vote on the schedules and clauses of the 2016 Appropriation Bill. Akosita Talei, FBC News.
48% of cases reported under the Child Welfare Decree relate to sexual abuse. Today has been declared the National Day for Prevention of Child Abuse and Neglect in Fiji to bring attention to crimes against children. Savara Tambua has more.
Children need to be protected from violence, exploitation and negligence. Today, students from within the Suva-Nosori corridor gathered at Sukuna Park in Suva to relay the message that children need to be respected and protected from those who would harm or exploit them.
I learned a lot about child abuse, and my message to the citizens of Fiji to stop child abuse, because children are the next generation of our nation.
Let us join our hearts, our souls, to work for unity so we can build a better Fiji in the next generation.
While opening the celebration this morning, Permanent Secretary Dr. Joe Koroibueta said, "Child protection is everyone's responsibility, and there is a need to appreciate and acknowledge the little things that they do." He also says government will continue to invest in our children's protection and development through health, education, and guarding their welfare. He said it is our responsibility as parents and guardians to do justice to our children. The National Day for Protection Against Child Abuse and Neglect was organized in line with the World Day for Prevention of Child Abuse, marked annually on the 19th of November. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
Coming up after the break, the Natovi jetty in Tailevu to undergo a multi-million-dollar upgrade next year.
Mai ni grima फादर्स क्लब की रोहिणी कुमार हूँ और रेडियो फीजी 2 की मैं बड़ी दीवानी हूँ।
मेरा नाम राम है, मैं लटोका में रहता हूँ और जस्ती करके मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 सुन रहा हूँ।
हाय, मैं हूँ आईना नाभवा टाउन से। नाभवा में रेडियो फीजी 2 सबकी पसंद।
मेरा नाम अश्विन है, मैं रेगरेकी में टैक्सी का व्यापार करता हूँ और ज़्यादातर हम लोग रेगरेकी में रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनते हैं।
हमारा नाम रोशनी है, मैं टावा टाउन से बात कर रही हूँ। मुझे रेडियो फीजी बहुत पसंद है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
The Natovi jetty in Thai Level will undergo a multi-million-dollar upgrade next year. The jetty is used daily by ferries carrying people and freight between Suva, Vanua Levu and Levuka. Eleanor Tarangai View reports.
A team from Korea is currently carrying out a feasibility study into the extension of the Natovi jetty.
They started early mid last year. They've been going through after cabinet approval. They're doing their feasibility study.
Commissioner Central Meleti Bainimarama says they have had several meetings with the Korean team and a task force has been formed to gather information for the team. After the feasibility study, a meeting will then be scheduled to decide on the next step.
We want all the information gathered together. You've noted the talk about the lands issue, the freehold and native lands, the fishing ownership rights. We need to clear all that. And then when we meet again with the Korean delegation in February next year, all the information is intact for them to start their works.
Upgrading of the jetty, which was built over 30 years ago, is expected to cost around $37 million.
At the moment, we're looking at ODA, which is Overseas Development Assistance. It may come to give and take ODA and government contribution.
The contract for the upgrade and renewal work was initially awarded to Pacific Marine and Civil Solutions last year. Eleanor Tarangai View, FBC News.
The Health Ministry has launched a plan to ensure that microorganisms that cause illnesses don't become resistant to medicine. Antimicrobial resistance is a worldwide phenomenon where microscopic living organisms become less treatable by commonly used drugs. Ritika Pratap reports.
The threat of antibiotics losing their effectiveness has become a major concern, and the World Health Organization sees a need for global action to educate people on how to use medicine wisely. Antimicrobial resistance happens when organisms mutate to develop protection against medicines. This applies to an ever-increasing range of infections caused by bacteria, parasites, viruses and fungi.
Fiji has taken the step further with the development of a national AMR plan in 2015. Furthermore, the establishment of the National AMR Committee is to ensure that the plan is executed, and that will be the key thing, execution. Execution will make the difference, and that the objectives are achieved.
Fiji is the first country in the Pacific to launch the 3-year AMR action plan, and WHO representative Dr. Liu Yungo says this sets an example for others in the region who have time until 2017.
We need to ensure that to put the plan into action with an effective monitoring and evaluation process in place. Again, you have to do it right. WHO will be with you every step of the way in implementing your national antimicrobial resistant action plan, and we'll continue providing technical support as you may need.
The plan was launched with the Antibiotic Week, which has the theme Handle with Care. The goal of the campaign is to raise awareness on antibiotic resistance and change behavior.
In order to keep microorganisms in check, people must finish their course of antibiotics, never share or use leftovers, and never buy antibiotics without prescription. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The government has 3 months to sort out the labour law reforms with the ILO-sanctioned tripartite mission due here in January. Employment Minister Semi Koroi Lavisau says time is of the essence. Maggie Boyle with the story.
The ILO's governing body earlier this month deferred a commission of inquiry, instead sanctioning a tripartite mission which is expected in Fiji soon. Employment Minister Semi Korleva-Sao says the hard yards are being put in.
Basically, we need to organize ourselves and conduct the tripartite forums and go through the ERAP procedures to be able to go through the agreement before the ILO team comes back in January, end of January.
The ILO tripartite mission is expected to assess the situation on the ground and determine where the roadblocks are that has led to Fiji failing to comply with the tripartite agreement signed in March, which called for a joint implementation report on labour law reforms. Korleva-Sao says commitments made to the union representatives prior to the ILO November meeting are now being implemented.
So the Prime Minister have agreed to appoint 2 more tribunal judges, so we're looking into that. Now today the Ministry is carrying out the workshop to look at our strategic plan, and basically that will be a feed-in.
Other than a government, the tripartite parties are the Fiji Commerce and Employers Federation and the Fiji Trades Union Congress. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Anxious and nervous, but can't wait to be part of the 2015 Miss World pageant in China to showcase Fiji, the Pacific and the struggles of the South Seas. That is what Fiji's contestant Brittany Hazelman is all about as she sets foot in China this week. Madhyam Bolaitamana spoke to our representative who was travelling alone to the global event.
All packed and ready to go, Brittany Hazelman checking in before her long-haul flight to China.
Yeah, I definitely just want to thank everyone for their amazing support, their prayers. It's really pushed me this far, and there's a lot of times when I wanted to give up, especially having a full-time job, but thank you so much for the support, and I am definitely humbled to have this title and represent Fiji on this platform.
For the Savu-Savu-born lass, apart from having a good feel of the global beauty contest, the platform is also an avenue to create awareness of the struggles of Fiji and the Pacific.
To give that confidence to other Pacific Island women that yes, it is possible to be on an international platform and advocate for things that you're passionate about. And I think that living here in the Pacific, we face a lot of issues and that a lot of developed countries that are not aware of. So I think it's important to bring to light these issues, for instance, climate change.
Hazelman is among the 120 contestants vying for the annual competition, which sees young women from around the world compete for the Miss World title. Madhyam Bolaitamana, FBC News.
Absolutely stunning. And on that note, sports is up next with the handsome Jamie.
Oh, I thank you, Jackie. Make me feel special today. Good evening. After the break, we'll take a look at the Pacific Cup Championship in New Zealand. And former Fiji rep Apisai Nevo takes us on a look back at the time he spent with the late Jonah Lomu. This and more coming up.
Yandra! I love listening to Gold FM at Golden Point Resort. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is General from Rakiriki Village. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic.
I'm Moses from Valiu. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Marida Manako. I'm from Kandavu. I like listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Tilipa from Tavor Town. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
While Jonah Lomu was considered one of the greatest rugby players of all time, his rise to international stardom crossed paths many times with a few Fijian players, one of which was Nawaka native Apisai Nevo. Nevo played alongside Lomu for the county's Manukau club in New Zealand for 6 years from 1995 before they joined the Waikato Chiefs in 2001. Josephine Navula caught up with Nevo today and joins us live now from our Nandi studio. Josephine, what was Nevo's reaction towards the sad news?
Jamie, the 42-year-old was surprised and saddened at the sudden passing of the former rugby star Jonah Lomu yesterday. Nayabo is also arranging with a former teammate and also a familiar face in the rugby field, Joeli Vindiri, to go and attend the funeral in New Zealand once the date is confirmed. We caught up with Nayabo on the fond memories he shared with the All Blacks legend.
Rugby did sink back to the old times with the former All Black star legend John Olomu. His former teammate Apisai Nayavo took time out to rekindle memories after hearing the sad news.
One of my cousins was telling me that, did you hear the bad news about John? I said no. And they said that he passed away yesterday morning.
Nayavo says it was only last week that he was thinking of his playing days with Lomu.
See all the 3 pictures about me and Joeli and Jonah, and I was saying by myself, I don't know about this to my friend, but the sickness, when we always play with that team, he was always the hard person to tackle.
Lomu was widely recognized as among the 5 greatest players of all time in the sport. Josephine Davula, FBC Sports.
The Shop and Save Lautoka football side was the only Fiji team to register a win on the first day of the Pacific Football Cup in New Zealand. The side, led by Lambert Sarju, came from a goal down to beat USA All-Stars 2-1 last night. Rohit Deo has more.
A hard-earned win which could only have been achieved with a great teamwork displayed by the Blues. Lautoka conceded early with this penalty in the opening stages of the match. The teams rested with the USA All-Stars leading 1-0, but the Blues came back firing the second spell and Alvin Avinesh replied from the spot. A defensive blunder saw USA All-Stars concede another goal, which gave the Sugar City side the crucial 3 points. The Blues have made a good start and will be taking a game at a time.
Don't take things for granted. Don't count our chickens before they hatch. We have to go game by game. All the teams that have come here, I've seen, right, every team will be improving. Second game, third game, they will start getting better and better.
The Lautoka mentor was pleased with his players' performance on the first day, but admits there are some areas to work on.
Tournament you go into, first game is always the most important game. You know, where you go, where if you get the maximum 3 points, you can see you're going forward. A loss will take you backwards, so it was a very important game for us, the 3 points, and that's what our aim was, and that's what we came for in the first game.
The team's next match is against the Auckland All-Stars at 9 p.m. today. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the CFR Lions Suva side and the Ratsu Nandi side had to settle for a point each in their matches yesterday. Nandi failed to score against a weaker Manukau All-Stars side and was held to a 0-0 draw. Suva started well against defending champions in New Zealand, Fiji All-Stars, with a goal in the opening minutes, but the All-Stars struck back and the match ended 1-1.
Happy with the result, playing against the defending champion, and first time we're playing with our guest players. It's the first time they have played together, and it's a good result, and I'm sure I will come back in the next game and do better.
The Fair Trade Rewa side had a disappointing start to the tournament, going down 2-0 to the Auckland All-Stars and copping 2 red cards to Simeone Taminisau and Chone Kalautani. Here are the match highlights.
So I would say squares in back to Francini.
The second round of pool games are currently underway. The Mbu Athletics squad in Suva to compete at the 2015 Chow Games have had a hard journey getting to this year's competition, but they will be using that hardship as motivation when they compete from tomorrow. 72 athletes made the boat trip from Wanolevu yesterday, but it has been quite a challenge to bring them together to prepare for the 2-day meet.
It was quite hard because of the distance. Many schools are scattered, so for training we were just having our own training at our different schools. So we came yesterday, and yesterday was we came together as one we came under Mbua.
The Chow game started 8 a.m. tomorrow at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. That is your sports for this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Vodafone's 100% acquisition of Daytech Fiji Limited earlier this year is proving to be a worthwhile investment. More customers are now opting to use the cloud and accessing a vertical world at customers' fingertips. The cloud is a generic term to describe whichever company's network of servers to which you connect. Vodafone Fiji hosted a cocktail in Suva last night to thank their customers and partners for their continued support. Daytech Fiji Limited is one of Fiji's leading IT companies, which now offers Vodafone customers ICT solutions aimed at improving enterprise and the business sector. Vodafone Chief Commercial Officer Ronald Prasad says the move was a strategic one.
There's a lot of change that's happening on the ICT front. Customers are now going to ask why invest and maintain and keep upgrading hardware, software when there's a much easier option to take things to the cloud. So it made a lot of sense for Vodafone to acquire Daytech because there's a lot of convergence happening. So initially it was fixed mobile convergence, then we had unified communications, then we've got ICT and telcos converging, and then definitely there's more convergence to come.
Daytech is a 25-year-old company owned by Vodafone Fiji, Amalgamated Telecom Fiji Holdings and Fiji National Provident Fund. Mainly sunny and hot with only a few scattered clouds was the order of the day across Fiji. There were no reports of rain as the hot dry spell continues. In temperatures, Lautoka, Mba and Lambasa topped the chart at 33 degrees. Nandi was a little cooler at 31, while Suva and Savusavu reached 30. Tomorrow will be just like today, with only a very slim chance of showers for Suva and Savusavu. And it appears the warm, sunny weather will continue right through the weekend at sea, light easterly winds and moderate seas. Recapping tonight's main stories, police force looks at ways to improve. Debate on 2016 budget continues in Parliament, and child sexual abuse a concern. To our poll question for this week, we are asking, can the Fijiana rugby team win gold in the Rio Olympics? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Bye for now.
Ko skrindo kita wani laki-laki lo menikoro dau vinakavio na va Mbula FM ni ronto vinkarabio ben hilo ko viroro ozo na Mbula FM namba 2 na share
iyo Mbula vina tangu peli undu taliten na borong Mbula FM na vo
namba 2 na nga Mbula FM no sur Mbula FM namba 2 na share
Mbula sia buni va Lambasa na da ko Vila Merikivi Mbula FM namba 2 na share Talita itu ngai lepas.
Bula FM namba 2 NSR.